Alright guys, I'm back with another long playing review. This time it's UN Squadron on the good old Amstrad CPC. And this is a very famous arcade game, a great arcade game. It's a side-scrolling shoot 'em up, 2D, involving planes and stuff. And this is from Capcom in Japan. And it was actually released as Area 88 in Japan, but got rebranded as UN Squadron for the American and European releases. Not really sure why, because of course United Nations are supposedly a peacekeeping force, and basically this is set in the some Middle Eastern country, and you're basically just blowing the shit out of anything that moves. Doesn't sound like a peacekeeping force. Then again, if you read your conspiracy theories, guys, then you may have read that the people pulling the strings of the United Nations are pretty corrupt bunch of bastards. Anyway, but I'll leave that there. I'm not going to get political. I'll leave other YouTubers like Spinny Cluck to do that, I think. Anyway, enough about that. Very nice title screen here, showing the different characters. Got a very orange guy from Denmark here, who seems to turn into a black person on the next screen. Interesting. Winners don't use drugs. They've even put that screen in that a lot of the arcade machines released in the late 80s and early 90s featured. Winners don't use drugs. Tell that to some of the gold medalists in the Olympics. Okay, anyway, put some credits in, and let's start this up. And we get to choose our character. 3 characters to choose from. I like my favourite planes are the F-14 Tomcat, so I always go as Mickey. Or is it Nicky? And oh yeah, just like the arcade, you get that guy appearing and telling you your mission details. And again, just like the arcade, you get the weapon shop, that strange old guy. The first, at least the first 2 missions, try and do without spending your money on weapon upgrades and defensive stuff, because you'll need to save it up for the later levels. And here we go. As you can see, it's marvellous graphics, really nice and colourful. Some really good explosions there. Got explosion sound effects to go with, and we've even got music as well in the background. We've got music and sound effects. Now it's yeah, we've got a fairly relatively smooth horizontal scroll going on there. But I guess I mean, we're going to talk about this in more detail and more depth. As you can see, it's a little bit slow. Well, it's quite a bit slow, really, let's be honest. The frame rate of this is not particularly good. However, there's a huge amount of stuff going on, and it's an awful lot for a humble 8-bit computer to handle. Got a massive scrolling background, lots of sprites on screen, lots of bullets flying about and weapon pickups. We've got music and sound effects, so yeah, this is never going to be the fastest game in the world. And I think this was cross-ported to the Spectrum as well. They both look and play very similar. I think what I'll just first talk about there is you saw I could select which pilot and plane I wanted. 3 different pilots. I think the F-14 I've got here has Mickey. Your bullets cause slightly more damage, but a little bit slower than the first pilot you could have chosen. What was the first pilot's name? I've forgotten the name. Shin, Japanese guy with an F-20 Tiger Shark. That fires a lot faster bullets, but causes less damage. And the third guy from Denmark, the one that turned from orange into a black guy, as you saw, he's got a A-10 Thunderbolt plane. It's a bit slower, a bit more cumbersome. But it also, the advantage of that plane is that it fires diagonally down sort of 45 degrees, so you can shoot ground targets with. There's only a few levels where you do have ground targets where it's of any use, so I like to stick with the F-14 there. As you can see, we just had a really massive end of level boss battle. Lots of nice explosions. And on to mission 2. The invisible stealth bomber. Well, it's not actually invisible, you will see later on. Again, if you can, don't buy anything. Save your money. Be a skinflint and save up. Now we're up in the heavens in this level, right in the top of the clouds. Oh yeah, talking of scrolling, we've actually got some parallax scrolling on the go there, guys, have you noticed? That's pretty hard to achieve on the Amstrad or any sort of 8-bit computer. And they've really gone full force into this. Now there's green globes there. Basically they're there to upgrade your weapon. And there's different colours. There's green, there's blue, and I think there's like a brown colour as well. Now you can see what level your power up is at in the sort of top left corner of the screen there. Now you see the POW, it's got 10 under it, and then you've got TTL with 10 under it. Now first of all, TTL is your total, so that's always increasing. That's your total number of pickups you've got so far. Doesn't really serve any purpose, just you know, just to keep record of how many you picked up, just for the sake of it. Now above that though, the POW, standing for power, that counts down, and when it reaches 0, that you get your next upgrade. So if I pick up that one there, you see it's gone down to 8. Oh yeah, the blue gives you 2 power points. So we went from 10 to 6 there. So 6 more points to go, and then weapon upgrades. It doesn't actually explain this in the instruction manual for the home 8-bit computers. I was wondering why things. I was wondering what was going on in that top left corner initially. Why the bottom was increasing, while the top was going down. And then I worked it out. There's some impressive big sprites in this game. You see we get 2 on the screen there, and lots of bullets firing off and stuff. And there wasn't any further slowdown. The game stays at the same pace, so even with lots and lots of stuff going on the screen, it doesn't slow down. Although the game's pretty slow to begin with, though. It's still pretty playable, though. Actually, it's pretty good fun. Can be a lot of stuff going on the screen at one time, but you never feel completely overwhelmed by it. So the best course of action is basically to act as quickly as possible against all threats that appear as soon as you can. Because generally they don't fire bullets off as soon as they appear. But if you leave it too long, there's too many on the screen at one time, they'll all start firing their weapons at you, and then it just turns absolutely mental. Oops, that's my first bit of energy there. Now with having sound effects with the music, basically you can probably tell there that the music gets sort of interrupted when there's a sound effect. I've talked about this before in other games, but that has sound effects and music. But basically, guys, if you don't know, the sound chip on the Amstrad and the Spectrum uses the AY chip, but there's only 3 sound channels. So you have only 3 channels of sound, so when there's a sound effects, the program knows to basically use one of the channels for the sound effect, which means you lose a channel of music. You probably all know that anyway. Yeah, controls are nice, tight and responsive. There's no lag on the go at all. And it just feels rather fluid. And sprite movement is nice. You do feel really in control of your plane. And that's really important in these kind of shoot 'em ups. I guess speed is another factor in making a really good shoot 'em up. It needs to be fast and frantic. But this is a bit sedater in its pace. But it's still good. Now this is the final, this is the end of level boss of this stage. He's not that hard. He drops mines, that's those little sort of wibbly floaty things. You can't blow them up with your gun or your special weapon, so you just got to avoid them. And he only fires 2 rockets at a time, and it's not too hard to avoid them. And the game overall isn't majorly difficult. You'll see I've done this without losing a life and a credit, and it took me quite a few goes, but do. Other times I've only just lost a credit or 2. But like I said, the key to beating this game is to act as quickly as possible. As soon as enemies appear on the screen, when you lose your lives and stuff, it's when you let things get on top of you and get swamped, and there's just too many bullets on the screen to avoid and deal with. So act as quickly as you can, and you'll soon progress. And we're on to, what is this, level 4? I think, yeah, level 4. Sorry, no, level 3. What am I on about? Forest Fortress. You could do with having a special weapon here. So yeah, I got the super shell there, because there's going to be a lot of things to clear along the bottom of the screen here. This is pretty much the only level where that Danish pilot with his Thunderbolt plane that shoots diagonally down is any use. But it's worth trying to stick to the bottom as much as you can and blowing away the trees and all the gun emplacements there. So a lot of them will drop weapon pickups, well, those power orbs or whatever, to upgrade your main weapon. There's one. Cool. One more, at least one more green orb, and then we've upgraded our weapon. Bit tight there. Just about did it. There we go. There's a pickup just beyond the tree. Yay, and our weapon's upgraded. As you can see, we're clearing the way for those trees a lot quicker now. What I do like, actually, that they've managed to get in from the arcade original is interaction with the backgrounds there. I mean, you can blow up the trees there. In later levels you're flying through a canyon and you have to blow away certain rocks that are in your way to progress further and stuff. It's pretty nice. And what's nice as well, you can just basically hold the fire button down and it just constantly fires your weapon. That's pretty nice. You don't have to faff about too much. Hammering away at the fire button madly. Stick to the bottom there, you can avoid all those mines nice and easy. Okay, and this is the end of level fortress, and there you see there, so there's my special weapon. Now to use your special weapon, you basically tap the fire button twice. And and I've got plenty of the special weapon there, so might as well use it up, because you don't retain it on the next level, unfortunately. Any amount of your special weapon left, you do get a bit of a bonus at the end of the level. You've still got some left. I think points translate into cash, and the more cash you get, the better off you'll be. You're gonna need it. Points there if you had a shield and you still had your shield by the end of it. Right, mission 4. Carrier. Trying to remember this boss. I've not long played it, forgotten. There's 10 missions in this game, so I think I'm deliberating whether to get a shield or extra energy. I think we'll survive. We're back in the desert again. Yeah, sprites are nicely detailed actually. Sometimes it can get a bit lost in the background there, especially those ground defences there. Tanks and gun emplacements are usually sort of a yellowish colour, and so is the basically the background on this level of the sand. But there's a bit of a black outline around the sprites, which helps make them stand out. Ooh, that helicopter's got a flamethrower. Weapon pickups. The main sprite there, my F-14 Tomcat, it looks alright. Not the best sprite I've ever seen. It's got quite a few frames of animation there where you sort of bank down, or bank left and right more like, and dive and climb. There's me using my special weapon there, which is a massive bomb dropping on the ground. Yeah, but the sprites are well defined, as are the bullets, mostly. They're wisely used as sort of a black pixel outline around them. I've already mentioned that. I've seen the I mentioned this is very similar to the Spectrum version. That uses sort of monochrome graphics, but things get really hard to see from the few times I've played it briefly. And I think the sound effects and music sound a bit better in the Amstrad version, to my ears anyway. So this probably has got the edge on the Specky version. As for the Commodore 64 version, there isn't a video of it on YouTube, and I couldn't be asked to find the ROM and emulate it on some Commodore 64 emulator. I'm sure it plays pretty smoothly. The Commodore 64 always excelled at sort of horizontally scrolling sort of shoot 'em ups and stuff. So it's probably more than likely going to be a little bit better on the Commodore 64, that version. But this is still impressive stuff. This is a decent game. And they've done their absolute best to try and get it as close to the arcade as possible. And for that I commend them. This is the end of level boss. This is where you do need to have your weapon, a special weapon, and the bomb drops. If you don't, I don't think you can basically blow up the end of level boss. So if you did start without a special weapon, basically you just have to kill yourself, because when you use a credit and come back, you automatically get given a small amount of a special weapon. Oh no, I think you can do this without a special weapon. Basically, you'll have to survive to this little bit here. You'll see that the main section sort of pops out briefly. There it is. And you have to shoot it with your weapon. You don't need a special weapon for that, so maybe you can survive without a special weapon on this level. So we've got quite a few bombs left, see if we can hit it. Got a few on him. And basically doesn't stick around if you're above him with a special weapon, it will shoot back down as soon as you start dropping them, like so. This is a bit of a futile exercise, you might as well just stand back and just shoot away and avoid his rockets. There we go. Mission 4 done. Right, mission 5. What happens on mission 5? Let's see if I can remember. Bamako Basin. I think this is another aerial battle in the skies. Ah, yes, you need your 16. Definitely get a 16-way shot on this level, and it's worth getting an energy pickup. This level's quite tough actually. It can get quite intense. So you're flying through the mountains or a canyon there, and you've got to blow the top off certain rocks that stick out. Oh yeah, there's a lot of big planes in this level that take a lot of shooting down. You can get quite easily swamped in this level and suddenly find you've lost all your energy. It's probably worth actually getting a shield pickup for this level rather than just boosting your energy. Oh, we just levelled up there. It's a next weapon up. Looks like it. Got big meaty fireballs we're shooting out at the moment. Yeah, we have. Because those planes are just shot, they usually take a couple of 2 or 3 shots to shoot down. One shot and they're dead now. Cool. So yeah guys, it really pays to shoot down as much as you can and get those weapon pickups. At this point you really do need to have your weapon upgraded as much as possible. Yeah, especially against these big planes, because they take a lot of shooting down. Now normally I'd say save your special weapon for the end of level baddie, but you'll find me using it quite a bit in this level before I reach the end of level boss, especially when we've got a couple of planes on the screen at the same time. And then we'll have lots of little smaller fighters coming as well, so you definitely need that 16-way shot on this level if you want to survive. You'll see what I mean shortly as it gets a little bit more intense. It's not long before another big fighter jet appears. And you've also got to be clearing the way as well, blowing those rocks out. Of course, you can't fly into those rock faces there; you'll die. Yeah, and of course, the more planes you shoot down, the more money you get. I try not to miss any. Yeah, that's where that 16-way shot comes in really useful. These planes start shooting their missiles at you pretty quickly. Ooh. Ah, damn it. Took a fair bit of damage there trying to get to that weapon upgrade. PowerPoint orb thing. Oh well. You really don't want to miss one though. Don't be afraid to start using your special weapon. Not worth risking it. I don't think the end of level Guardian on this one, boss, whatever, is particularly difficult. Oh yeah, that 16-way shot only reaches a certain amount of distance as well. As you can see there, they didn't hit that little plane that's coming in on me, that first one I shot. So remember, it hasn't got a massive distance on it. Yeah, this is a pretty intense level. If I didn't have that 16-way shot getting rid of those little planes attacking me, I'd probably be dying a couple of times here. I think you saw me on the title screen there, pressing the space bar to put in more credits. Like you would in the like you would in the arcade, and you can get up to I think it's 5 credits, which is basically 4 credits left over when you start the game. It's pretty generous actually. It's basically got about 5 lives. It's nice that you can choose how many lives you start with essentially. Yeah, this is pretty easy as long as you've got your 16-way shot. Now stay where I am because you'll move right to the top of the screen now, and that tail fin might just catch you. And if you quicken your super weapon, it'll blow up before he starts shooting bullets at you. So I took a bit of a risk there, but I quickly dispatched him there. Nice. And lots of bonus points and cash there. And so on to the next level, which is mission 6. 5 more to go. Missile launcher. The underground cave level. This is pretty nicely done. Thinking back to the arcade original. And at one point in this level you get a choice of going 2 different ways, the higher or lower caves. Again, another nice touch. Always choose the lower caves, by the way, you'll see. And you don't really need the special weapon, apart from just in a couple of places. You'll find there's like some rocket launchers shooting missiles vertically upwards at you, where you just need them briefly. Super weapons is useless on the end of level boss, so you might be able to make do without. Anyway, you'll see what I mean shortly. Here it is. Here's the thing that shoots the missiles and rockets up at you. I think you can basically, you can't blow it completely up, but you can slow down the missiles being shot up at you. And pretty much this is the only place where your bomb and special weapon comes into any use. It's a bit of a waste of money really. But when I didn't have it and just trying to navigate all the rockets that fire up you, and there's a lot of them if you're not bombing it, I lost a life a couple of times. So on this playthrough I decided to buy the special weapon. Ah yes, choice of lower cave or upper cave. Choose the lower cave. There's really sod all in it, and you don't have to worry about those laser gates. You can see it at the top left there. Right, okay, I'll tell you what, let's talk about the Amstrad version and programmers and a bit more details about the game. It's a US Gold release, surprisingly. An arcade conversion from US Gold, that's halfway decent. Oh, got me surprised. And even more surprised, it's from Tiertex. Apparently, mentions Tiertex in a couple of places. And, well, I don't know if you know, but I've moaned about Tiertex enough. They did some truly appalling and shocking conversions. Not just on the Amstrad, but across basically all computers and consoles at the time. US Gold seemed to like them and use them a lot though. So calling me even more surprised and shocked about Tiertex had anything to do with this. Very rare we get a good Tiertex conversion. So I programmed this game, a guy called Doug Anderson, I presume he did the Specky version as well. He only did two games for the Amstrad and US Gold ever. This one, and then a year later he did the Alien Storm conversion. Alien Storm is a game I really wanted to do, but unfortunately basically the disc dumps we do have of the game available on the internet. There's quite a few bugs, unfortunately, and corruption in the disc, I think. I couldn't get it working past the first level on my usual emulator, which is Win8. Seemed to work better in CPC emulator. I'm not sure why. But I'll see if I can do another dump of the game myself. I've got the disc at home. But yeah, Alien Storm, that looked and played rather well, but ultimately was the gameplay is pretty flawed. So that was the only two games Doug Anderson did. And yeah, he's done a really good job here. And as I mentioned, pretty much the special weapon here is pretty much useless on this end-level boss. It gets really close to good emplacements on top of it. But just stand near the top there and just shoot away. The only thing really launched at you is a few planes every now and again. So this is a pretty short and easy level. Yep, so mission 6 done. So what have we got in mission 7? Bomber called Bullhead. Is this homing missiles? Yeah, get the strongest homing missiles in this level, and we might as well start buying some energy upgrades. And we're back in the desert again. Looks like some kind of oil refinery, perhaps. Petrol and things like that. Definitely the Middle East and the Gulf then, by the look. Yep. Back in the desert, but I think at some point in this level you start to fly upwards and go back into the skies to battle against a giant plane. Like I said, this is pretty faithful to the arcade original. Lots of plus points for that. There's my homing weapon in action there. We need to save this weapon as much as we can for later on. So until we take the skies, try not to use the homing missiles too much. Well, we're at the 30-minute mark in this video. I think the total video length is about 54 minutes, but probably 5 minutes worth at the end there is just basically me showing that you can have simultaneous two-player action in the game. Works just as well without any slowdown. I'll talk about that later on, and just a bit more of the title screen music. I think I'll come back to what I was about to talk about in a second, but I think this is where we start moving up. check that out. That's nicely done. Nice little touch there. There's my homing missiles in action. But yeah, so we've come to the 30-minute mark. I'm not sure many people would be watching beyond this point. If you come here just to have a bit here, my review of UN Squadron, I suppose I better sum it up here and now, so you're probably not going to watch for a full hour. So yeah, absolutely gorgeous graphics. I really like the graphics. Some really huge sprites, nice explosions, tons of bullets on the screen. They look really nice. We got music and sound effects, and although it's the same music for each level and each cutscene, it's not bad music. Sound effects are pretty much your standard sort of shooting explosion effects, but they're pretty good and meaty actually. I like them. We've got scrolling on the go, which is relatively smooth. We've got some parallax scrolling in some places. And this is a decent 2D side-scrolling shoot 'em up, and definitely very favourable to the arcade original. So mega plus points for that, definitely. Yeah, gameplay-wise, I mean, it's your standard shoot 'em up fodder, but there's lots of interesting stuff going on in the game. Lots of variation in your enemies. Some really massive enemies to fight against, especially some really impressive end-level bosses, and really nice changing the backgrounds and stuff like that. Keeps the game really interesting. You really want to see what the next level is, what enemies you're going to be fighting against this time, what's the end-of-level boss going to be, because they're really impressive generally. So yeah, this is really good stuff. But you know, the major gripe and big downside is yeah, it's too slow. The frame rate isn't particularly good. So yeah, it loses a lot of points for that. If this was fast and smooth as well, this would have been like ultimate, you know, master game, well into the 90% region for a final score. As it is, if I was giving this a percentage score, it'd probably be like an 89%, you know. Really good game, just misses out on being an absolute classic and a must-have game, because it's a bit slow. It's just a bit too slow. So I usually give marks out of 10 because I'm lazy. So I'll give this this 8.5 out of 10. 8.5 out of 10. So here we are, the end of level boss here. It's 3 planes, but you want to be destroying the central one. But we've saved up our homing missiles, so we're just using them all up there. Quite an easy boss to defeat if you've got your powerful homing missiles. There we go. That's mission 7 done. Got 3 more missions to go, so let's. This is mission 8, of course. And what do we have now? Battleship called Minx. Ah, right. This level's an absolute swine. Arguably, possibly the hardest level. So you need a good strong bomb, and I'm deliberating between getting an energy pickup or shield. This level can be quite tough. I've gone for the shield. And basically you want to dispatch anything on the water as quickly as possible. Smaller boats are a bit useless. They just fire one missile up very slowly. But the screen can get really covered with bullets, so you want to get rid of them quite quickly. But it's the submarine that appears about halfway through that fires at least one homing sort of missile at you, which, if it gets to fire it, you're going to lose a big chunk of energy. And whilst you're trying to defeat the submarine, there's a heck of a lot of planes on the screen firing bullets at you. So you can very, very quickly find yourself dead and all your energy's gone. Ooh, that was close. Might as well use the bombs there. Now, submarine should appear any second. Probably about now. Here he is. Right, get dropping your bombs. Don't stay near the top of the screen because you'll have some planes drop down from the top in the middle in a second. And thankfully we've got rid of it, that submarine, before it could shoot its homing missile at us. We're starting getting quite a few bullets fired at us from those planes, but we've just made it through. Now it shouldn't be too hard to reach the end of level boss now. Just watch out, you get 3 planes come at you from this right, and very shortly after 3 from the left, so you want to stay somewhere in the centre of the screen. But moving back and forth, dispatching them as quickly as possible. Now here's the boss. Now, I think there's a bit of a bug in this game. See where I'm flying at the moment? For some reason, sometimes if I'm flying higher than that as I reach the boss, my plane blows up. And I can't work out why. I think there's a slight bug in the game there. Obviously I've not shown you it because I don't want to kill myself. But a number of times I reached this boss and then just blown up randomly for no reason. Other than that, I've not sort of noticed any other sort of bugs in the game. So very well programmed from Mr. Doug Anderson. Whoever you are, sir, well done. This is quite a tough boss actually, because you've only got a small amount of gap to get through. Just basically want to get off as many of those bombs as possible. Don't worry, you get a bit of breathing space here as you reach the end of the battleship, and then you turn around and fly back the opposite direction. There you go. Going back for another run. Thankfully, you've already caused quite a hefty amount of damage already. It shouldn't be too hard from now in. Oh, I should have mentioned as well, one of those central parts of the ship, probably the section just left of this one I'm shooting, does fire off a homing missile. Well, sure, take a huge chunk of energy off you if you're not quick. But yay, blown up the battleship. Lots of big explosions in the water. Yay. Cool. So, 2 more missions to go. Let's see what the second to last mission brings us. Target is the arsenal. Object is to destroy the arsenal, stop the operation. Oh, it's a big sort of giant dome thing that shoots lots of lasers and rockets at you at the end of the level. You want to get the most damaging bomb. You need to smash him pretty quickly. I'll just go with a cheaper shield bonus. This level isn't too hard, even though it's the second to last level. Back in the desert again, but slightly different terrain. It's nice that they've not reused the same graphics. Got something slightly different or completely unique per level. I mean, actually, to be fair to US Gold, actually, come sort of a 1990-91, they actually managed to come out with quite a few decent arcade conversions, eventually. We saw Strider 2 recently in my video channel. It's probably about the second to last video I did, I think. That wasn't too bad at all. What else else they do? Alien Storm wasn't too bad. Certainly the presentation is vastly improved on their latter releases. Alien Storm definitely looked the business. Some really nice graphics and music, and presentation of the title screens on the go, just like this. Actually, I'm trying to think now what other arcade versions US Gold came out with. eSWAT. A lot of people rate that game really badly and hate it. I actually quite liked it. It's one of the earliest Longplay videos I did. Come on, what else did US Gold do in the end? Oh, Outrun Europa. That was a pretty good game actually. Again, another one I've been meaning to do, but it seems to crash a lot on the different sort of disc versions I've found online. So either we've not had much luck dumping sort of latter era US Gold games, or they've got a lot of bugs in them. Crackdown, that was another arcade conversion, that was alright. Final Fight, sorry I forgot about Final Fight. By the same guy who did the excellent Double Dragon games, Richard Applin. It's got wonderful big chunky graphics, but unfortunately it's too slow. But that's a game I'd definitely be looking at some point. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, that was alright. Moonwalker, I had a look at that not too long ago. That was passable. Oh, Shadow Dancer, the sequel to Shinobi. That's a game I need to have a look at. That was excellent. So in the end, US Gold did manage to come up with quite a few good arcade conversions. Anyway, enough about that. This boss here, just get your bombs away as quick as possible on him before he reaches the top of the screen. Otherwise you're in big trouble. But ultimately, he's quite easy if you've got enough big boy bombs. Okay. So guys, this is it. We're coming up to the final mission. This is mission 10. It's just basically one long, huge boss battle. A really impressive alien ship. Alien ship? Sorry, these are not aliens. Well, actually, it looks like an alien ship. It feels like that big alien ship in R-Type. You sort of move around. Now, you want to get rid of that top jet thing there as quickly as possible. Because basically you'll have no choice but to move up to the top of the screen, because the ship will force you. Now I actually forget that happens here, if I remember correctly, and get caught out. I'll muck up here. I decided to fly down there and try and shoot some of them, but oops! I fucked up. Oh well, I've lost all my shield. But I'll manage to do this. Can't get that little gun emplacement there from this angle. Now if I had that Danish fighter and his plane, I'll be shooting diagonally down on it as well as horizontally. But oh well. His plane's a lot crappier than this one though, generally. But yeah, this is it's quite an impressive end of level final boss battle. Has absolutely massive sprites been shifting around the screen on Amstrad. So that's really well done. Now, we're not far from the end here. Basically, we're going to end up shooting that sort of blue eye thing there in the middle of the ship. That's the nerve centre. Destroy that and you blow up the ship. And I'll just mention quickly, guys, apologies that I haven't had any sort of videos up recently in the last few weeks. My computer at home unfortunately blew up. When I say blow up, I'm being a bit dramatic. I think that my Windows installation got corrupted due to faulty memory and the thing crashing and blah blah blah. So I've only just managed to build myself a new PC and sort of rescue the hard disk. But I'm back up and running now, guys. I hope we'll have a few more videos in the next few days. But anyway, we're reaching the end of this. Just get rid of those few gun turrets. And then the centre of the ship is wide open to my attack. And just keep firing your super weapon, your super shell. And that's it. We've done it. And right, let's see what the end of level, end of the game completion screen is. After my 500,000 points, 500,000 points gets totted up there. No high score table in this game, by the way, guys, so points are pretty pointless. Congratulations! The UN Squadron has been victorious. Yeah, that's all you get. Just a single screen. But it's a nice picture. It's better than the one you get at the end of the Commodore 64 version anyway. There is a video for the Commodore 64 ending on YouTube. What was that about the medals there? Missed that. Oh well. There you go, Program by Tiertex. Ugh, Tiertex. Ugh. But yeah, that's a nice little screen there. Better than just having game over, I suppose. And then just basically straight back to the title screen. But I'm just going to show you quickly. You can have simultaneous two-player action, and you can see Danish Greg's Thunderbolt plane in action as well. I talked about it shooting diagonally down 45 degrees as well as shooting across. So you'll see this in action. I've got to go through all this again, blah blah blah. And each of you gets the same amount of money, $3,000. Both of you start with, so it's not split between you, like 1,500 each. And you both get a choice of choosing your weapons. I guess because there's less planes to shoot down, there'll be less money to go about. I think actually the number of planes actually you fight against increases because you're into two-player mode, which is good that they adjust it and not make it too easy if you've got two players. And there you go. No slowdown with two players. Oh yeah, looks like there's a lot more enemy sprites on screen with two players on the go. Wow, that's a lot of sprites. Doesn't appear to be any slowdown though, so. But there you go. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. 8.5 out of 10, and see you next time. Cheers and bye.